Both male and female bongos have those horns. Those horns are slanted backwards, helps them move silently through the forest without alerting anything around them. The tannish brown ones without the horns are the greatest cooties. Don't have any horns because they're females. Only Belgraded cooties have horns. Cooties are the second largest antelope in Africa.
Great that they have. So Disney did a deal, or Walt did a deal with Florida. And the reason he doesn't take property taxes, 70% of his property is wildlife reserve.
There are these two big black and white birds up on this hill.
Something on the property.
These are saddle-billed storks.
70% of it is for
They get pretty big wingspan. They're anywhere from about 7 to 9 feet across. For reference, that canopy of their head is about 9 feet. They'll also stand anywhere from about 3 to 5 feet tall.
That must be nice. You know what I'm saying? I own half an acre. I'm paying like it's insane. I hate this real estate. They tax you for everything.
That's what I hear.
It's the worst. They tax you for the freaking bags that you get at the grocery store. It's like 35 cents for a bag. I'm like, I bring my own bags.
We're going to make our way on out of the forest. We're going to head on into the Safi River. As you probably guessed, most of the animals here are going to be aquatic, so keep your eyes peeled on the surface of the water.
No. Don't ride this if you have a back problem. Period.
Alright, there are these gray birds here to the right. These are pink-backed pelicans. They get the name from a pink patch that appears on their back during mating season. They are colonial nesters as well, so they will nest in groups of 50 to 1,000. They're pretty large birds as well, with a wingspan of about 8 to 9 feet, just like those storks we saw a minute ago.
That's a big thing. That's huge. They're coming. You gotta wait.
There are some hippos come up here to the left.
We couldn't chase them
Kind of
out
see them a
because
little
the
further up
base
ahead.
is
The hippos spend the large majority of the day in the water sleeping. Very nocturnal animals will sleep during the day. Then they wait until it cools off and then come out here a little more active, look for food, move around. Hippos are actually not very good swimmers and not very buoyant. They sink, so instead of trying to swim, they will run across the bottom of the river. It's a lot more convenient for them. And they can hold their breath for about 8 to 15 minutes at a time. They can do that while they're sleeping. Half their brain will sleep, with the other half will bring them to the surface of the water, taking them back underneath the surface of the water, all while staying asleep. There's a couple of them walking out of the water here to the left as well, kind of underneath these trees.
If you want to see them underwater, there's our place.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't like those where you're on the bottom of the water. Bridge.
Yeah.
I can't see anything, Daddy. I'm trying to pull from this.
I can't believe they're babies with They're walking tanks.
As you cross this bridge here to the left, there are going to be some Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles are the largest crocodilian species in Africa. They might not look like it, they're actually very caring parents.
Yeah, they
Before their eggs hatch, mom and dad are going to roll the eggs in the house. Starts the hatching process, makes it a lot easier for the babies to get out of the eggs. Fully grown, they do range anywhere from about 16 to 18 feet long.
Can't see.
That was massive. They won't move much because they don't want to use the energy.
The vegetation is changing. That's a good sign. We're heading towards my favorite part of the reserve, which is the savannah. Savannah is home to some of the more well-known animals like zebras, giraffes, and wildebeest. But before that, here to the right, you're going to see this funny-looking tree. This is a baobab tree, sometimes referred to as an upside-down tree or the tree of life. They are leafless for about 9 months out of the year, but they're very, very important to the ecosystem. Animals find very creative ways to get water out of them. They'll eat the leaves off them when they do have them. They'll eat the bark off them. Little poke holes in the trunk to get any water that might be trapped on the inside. Baobab trees are like nature's water tower. They're going to be hollow. Depending on the size of the tree and the time of the year, they can store up to 1,000 gallons of water inside that trunk.
Good tip for being lost in the desert. Look for trees that are green.
As we head on into the savannah, any animals you guys see out in the distance, we're going to slowly make our way over to them. Savannah is the largest portion of the reserve, so a lot of the animals are very spread out from one another. You also notice a lack of vegetation, not a lot of camouflage out here, so they're going to be built more for speed and agility.
I mean, you
Both of
can
them are
see the
true can
Rockies,
herds for
but there's
survival.
just sand. Yeah. Wildebeest right here. Wildebeest.
Oh, you look at that wildebeest. No, you don't know.
No, hyenas are not roaming free.
Mum, I zoomed in to get a good look at this.
All the predators are behind.
Is this
Alright,
very
coming up here
professional?
to the left, they're kind of past the bamboo back here. Back in that corner, there are some painted dogs. Now, painted dogs are very social animals, living grouped up to 15. They're very cute, but also very, very effective pack hunters. Actually,
Usually the only time I see them is always in their little.
a lot of people think that they're hyenas or that they're related to hyenas. They're not related to hyenas whatsoever. They're very distant relatives of domestic dogs.
Because remember where they're at, it's hot.
Right.
So they're not, and
Where?
they're covered with
Alright, there are some zebras here. Let's super duper fast. There's some brown antelopes lying back in that corner there. Those are sable antelopes, very territorial animals. So the only antelope that rather stand their ground and fight rather than run. Zebras here, these are Hartman's mountain zebras. Now zebras obviously stand out with those black and white stripes. They're not meant to blend into their environment, they're actually meant to blend into one another. So when zebras stand close to one another, those stripes are going to blend together, making it hard for predators to pick out a singular animal out of a herd. So a bunch of individual zebras turn into one big massive zebra. Because of that, a group of zebras are called a dazzle. Wow. No stripes that the zebras have.
Get that on camera.
The two striped patterns are the same.
She's a
There are some
trip.
shaggy animals here to the right, laying down. These are wildebeest. The wildebeest are the second most densely populated mammal on the planet, second to only us humans. The living group is over the 1.5 million animals that migrate anywhere from 500 to 1,000 miles every single year. And because they migrate so much and so often, mothers will often give birth while they're walking. So that baby has to be up and walking within 15 minutes.
Yeah, they become lunch. Yeah, because it won't take that long.
Alright, there is a draft here to the right. We're going to hold off on the drafts for a couple more minutes. We'll talk about it a little further down the road.
Where?
There's going to be a couple more wildebeest out to the right in this field, and there's going to be some animals with some really big horns. These are going to be Ankole cattle. Now, those horns might look heavy. They're not. They have a
Did you get
honeycomb
it?
structure on the inside. It makes those horns very light. It also allows them to pump blood to those horns to better regulate their body heat and cool off when it is hot outside. Those horns are anywhere from about 4 to 6
I
feet
wrote this
across from
one
tip
time and
to
the
tip.
draft came right.
They're also one of the only bovine species, both
It was
male
just
and
like
females will
standing
carry
right
those
here.
horns.
And you don't touch them. You can't touch them.
They are sometimes
These
known as
guys go
Watusi
mad.
cattle for the Watusi tribe, first tribe to domesticate them. There are some tiny tan animals also out to the right. Those are springboks. They get the name from how they spring straight up in the air about 6 feet. They'll spring 13 feet forwards and they reach speed to 50 to 55 miles an hour. While doing that, make them one of the fastest land animals on the planet.
That's a
while
porn.
jumping. And there are some more drafts here. These are Maasai drafts here on the reserve.
There we
Now you see those
Oh, that is-
ossicles on top of
that
their
is a
head. I was
good
talking about
shot.
earlier with the okapi. Those are those pointy black things.
I'm trying to
Ossicles that are
record.
horns are actually cartilage covered in skin and fur. Drafts also have a prehensile tongue. The tongue acts like a big finger for them, helping them grab food off branches a little easier. That tongue reaching from about 16 to 20 inches long.
That's a tongue.
Giraffes will spend about 20 hours of the day eating, and they're only going to sleep about 30 minutes every single day. Giraffes will sleep standing up with their eyes open at about 5-minute spurts. They are, of course, the tallest land animals on the planet, fully grown. They're reaching from about 16 to 20 feet tall. When they're born, they're about 6 feet tall. Giraffes do give birth standing up, so the first thing baby experiences is gravity. They fall about 6 feet, kind of jumpstart them. They're up and running around after about an hour.
I'm eating that leaf over there.
It's a 10-minute drive. So.
That's the control where they're going.
It keeps the animals from wandering.
Alright, there are some elephants here to the right. Actually, super fast. Here to the left, this is a mandrill. Mandrills are the largest monkey on the planet. If you've seen a
There he
lion
is.
king, your Fifi is a mandrill. Only male mandrills have that
Oh
colorful
no,
face pattern.
usually he's not out. No.
Alright, going back to these elephants. You see those big old ears, kind of shaped like the continent of Africa. They're going to flap those ears like a big set of fans to help them cool off.
Mom, I'm
For
doing
those ears to cool them off over to 15 degrees. They'll also use their trunks to grab dirt and throw dirt on their back to create a barrier between their skin and the sun. That barrier, if they're down some of the sun, but down some in other ways as well, especially with bug bites. Elephants hate bug bites, so that barrier up there will help keep the bugs away. Elephants are, of course, the largest land animals on the planet. Male elephants reach about 13,000 pounds. Females reach about 8,000. And because of their size, they're going to eat a lot of food every single day. They'll eat anywhere from about 300 to 400 pounds of food. Now, unfortunately, every year elephants lose more and more of their homes, which drives them into conflicts with humans. Usually farmers, they're going to walk through their crops or eat the crops, and the farmers aren't too keen on that. So a few years ago, we did some research on the reserve. Found out the elephants were afraid of bees. You can hear from about a mile away, so we used that information to create a beehive that we can put up around crops to keep elephants out. But then since those beehives, the farmers in Africa did the job, kept the elephants out, so protected the farmers, protected the elephants. It also gave the farmers another source of income in the honey. That is the Elephant and the Bees project, which is founded right here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve.
The elephants. I love the elephants, yeah. It was in the same place.
The animals are real nice.
Alright, coming up here to the left in just a second. I see some flamingos. These are greater flamingos.
Oh, that's a
Now, their name
perfect
tells
shot.
they're one of the largest flamingo species on the planet. Because of their larger size, they're going to be a little less pink. The larger the flamingo, the less pink they are.
Mom, that's a
They get that
perfect
famous
shot.
pink color from the food they eat, which is brine shrimp. Brine shrimp carries a mineral called beta carotene. It's going to take the flamingos about a year or two to develop that pink color after they hatch.
They're not aggressive.
Now, coming up here to the left, there is a mud wallow. Gets on it. There have been some rhinos around. Rhinos have very delicate skin, so what they like to do is they like to roll around in that mud. It helps them cool off. It also acts like sunscreen for them, protecting their skin from the sun. It is very nice out right now for the rhinos. Typically don't spend a whole lot of time over here in or around the mud wallow. They're here to the right. Now these are white rhinos. White rhinos are the larger of the two species of rhinos that we found in Africa. They weigh anywhere from about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. Rhinos have very poor eyesight, but they have very, very good hearing. Little antennas, picking up even the slightest of sounds. Rhinos' horns are actually made of the same stuff that our fingernails and hair are made out of, only their horns cannot go back. Now there are some cheetahs coming up here to the left up on this hill. Now, cheetahs are very cool, very unique big cats. Their claws cannot fully retract into their paws. They stick out a little bit, acting like cleats. They need those cleats, so they're the fastest land animals on the planet. They will go 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds. They have a nice long tail that acts like a good counterbalance for them, helps them quickly change direction with no running.
They're cute.
They are mainly daytime hunters, which is very unique for big cats. Big cats typically hunt during the night, not cheetahs. They hunt during the day. They do that to cut down on competition from other predators.
They take their prey, go up in the tree and eat it, and nobody can get it. Here we go. Leopards know.
There are some lions here. One is laying up on that rock there. We should hopefully get a better view of them. The lions will spend about 16 to 20 hours of the day doing exactly what they're doing right now, just laying around and resting. The rest of the time, the females will go out and do the majority of the hunting with the males stay behind to protect their pride. There's another one here actually laying between these two trees, and you see the top of her head. Now we do have 3 lions here on the reserve, 2 lionesses and a male lion. They're all relatively young. They're all about 3. It typically takes lions about 5 to 6 years to fully grow, so they do have a little more growing to do. The male lions, they do have that mane. That mane will help protect male lions from either rival lions, other predators, or even prey.
There they are. They're having a siesta.
Well, that's a good mum.
Doing like an island.
You see the lion turn?
Well, quite a good capture of that.
Now, there are some warthogs here to the left. Now, warthogs are closely related to domestic pigs. They're also highly intelligent like them. Largest burrowing mammals on the planet. They will burrow those holes and then back into them, sticking their tusks out for better protection.
Look, she's telling you to. She's telling you to look.
A little bit of a better view of the rhinos also here to the right and back in that corner. There's a shaggy animal here in the bush as well. This is a water buck. You probably guess where they get their names from. There in and around the water for the large majority of their lives. Most antelopes migrate, water bucks don't. Once they find a body of water, they're just gonna stay there.
Usually the rhinos will now, they just stare at the truck like, yep. I'm gonna stand here for a minute. This is 400 acres.
We're gonna head on out of the Savannah. We'll make our way to Magadi Glen for our warden's outpost is. Wardens take care of all of the animals here on the reserve. Currently needs over guys from us. These are Nigerian dwarf goats. They might seem small, they're actually fully grown. You can also see that yellow box out front of the outpost. It's one of those beehives I was talking about earlier with the elephant and the bees
Oh, that is
project.
the perfect
Now, like the
shot.
elephant and the bees project, we like to get local development conservation.
My YouTube video.
They care about conservation is often much more successful.
So that's why they can keep building and expanding the parks.
Another similar program for that I am personally very passionate about is the livestock guard dog program, which is part of the Cheetah Conservation Fund. Now, cheetahs are very timid animals, they're not very strong, they have a harder time taking out bigger prey items. But farmers in Africa, mainly in Namibia, they're losing their cattle to predators. Those cheetahs hunting their cattle for easy prey. So the Cheetah Conservation Fund, they came up with this idea to sponsor and partner with dog breeders. They're bred Anatolian Shepherds. They would then send those dogs to the farmers to show us how to raise the dogs, how to train the dogs, how to take care of the dogs, and those dogs will help keep the cattle safe and keep the cheetahs away, so it's a win-win for everybody involved. But most importantly, it'll help keep that cheetah population growing. Now, we're going to just a handful of conservation funder projects, but if you're passionate about a certain subject, do research that are countless conservation funds out there that you can get involved with. To make sure you check out all the other cool animals we have here around the park. We have 2 walking trails. One here in Africa, one over in Asia. And further one over in Asia, just a little bit more to the Maharaja Jungle Trek. You might see some Komodo dragons, giant fruit bats, water buffaloes, and some Sumatran tigers. Here in Africa, we have the Gorilla Falls Walking Trail. Get a better view of copy, better view of the hippos, some meerkats, some zebras, and of course, some gorillas.
Yeah, so, you know, I think
No, that's just.
We hope you have enjoyed today's videos. Please like
I
and
also always like to
subscribe.
recommend as well, come
And
back
in
and
the
do
comments,
another
let us know
safari.
what your
No two
favourite,
safaris are ever the same, I
ride at Disney is.
promise. The animals make sure that. Also, each of the drivers, we like to talk about different things. So if you don't like what I talk about, different driver will give you a whole different experience. Now here's safaris. We do close a little earlier than the rest of the park. We close
There's
at
the camera.
4:45. Those two walking trails are going to close at 4:30. So just keep that in mind if you guys do want to do any of that stuff.
Which is one to next. Look on the map.
Obviously, the park will remain open. Everything else in the park. I think the park closes at 6 tonight. Just the animal stuff closes just a little earlier than the rest of the park. Now, if you guys did want to do that Gorilla Falls walking trail, once you're off the truck, you're going to walk down a little ramp. At the bottom of the ramp, keep going straight. You're already going to be in the trail. You might as well do it. You're already up here. If you don't want to do the trail at the bottom of the ramp, turn right. Keep going straight. It'll eventually take you back to the village of Harambe and then back to the rest of the park. Alright, we are almost up at that original dock that we left from. So double check your surroundings, make sure you guys have all of your belongings. It is a long walk back here to Africa if you guys do forget anything. If you guys do forget anything here or around the park in general, all lost items are eventually taken up to guest relations. So before you guys head out tonight, check with them. They will hopefully have that item for you guys.
And then when I'm working, it's even worse because now I'm inside the ride, so I go all the way to the top, and then I do the zigzag all the way down. So I probably do like a
Anyway,
good 3 or 4
that's the
miles
end
just
of
inside
the thing. Please like and subscribe. Bye.